I've had these Bombas slippers for a couple of years, and let's just say they're past their prime. I've worn through the sole in multiple areas, and I've needed to replace them for a while. But instead of spending $50+ on another pair, I decided to use what I already have to make some slippers to replace them. I used a pattern called the Men's Scuff Felted Slippers by Monique Ray. There is a woman's version of this pattern, but I have larger feet, so the men's pattern made more sense sizing wise. I really don't see the point of segregated sizing for foot things, but that's a topic for another day. I used Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool in the color Nature's Brown and Cascade 220 in the color Vinci, both of which were left over from previous projects. The pattern calls for 2 strands of worsted weight wool yarn and 8mm needles. If you watch my video about knitting tools and notions I regret buying, you may remember that I mentioned the fact that I rarely use anything larger than a 5mm needle. This project is one of those rare occasions where having the full set actually comes in use, although I will say it felt really clunky and awkward to knit with such large needles. The knitting process was super fast though, so at least I didn't have to suffer for too long. This pattern is completely seamless and is constructed by knitting the sole, then picking up stitches around the perimeter to knit the upper that is shaped with a series of wrap and turn short rows. Once the knitting was done, it was time for the fun part, which was felting the slippers to shrink them to size. I never felted anything, at least not on purpose, so this was completely unfamiliar territory for me. I already knew the general principle, which is that heat plus moisture plus friction equals felting, but I did a quick Google search to determine if I was missing any key detail. But I did.
Sorry, I didn't understand. But I found something else.
Oh my God.
Do you want to know where to check if you lost your keys?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was so creepy. Okay, note to self, don't talk about Google on these videos. So I tossed the slippers in the washer on the hottest heavy-duty setting, and I added some towels for some additional friction. After the first cycle, my heart sank a little bit because I realized that I forgot to weave the ends before washing, so they were all tangled and matted. And there was also very minimal felting, which I thought could have been related to the fact that my washer does not have an agitator in the middle. After the third cycle, I decided to add a couple more towels to see if that would help encourage the felting process. In the end, I ran 5 complete wash cycles before the slipper shrank down enough, which felt incredibly wasteful. And honestly, I could have done another cycle because they still turned out a bit loose. And I'm not sure if this is normal, so if you have experience felting with a washing machine, let me know how it worked for you. Ultimately, I'm pleased with the result and I'm grateful to have a functioning pair of house slippers again. However, if I do make another pair, there are a couple of things that I would do differently. First up, I'll knit a batch and felt multiple pairs at once, so I'm not wasting so much water for a single pair. Number 2, I'll weave the ends before putting the slippers in the washer. And number 3, I'll pick a different color because honestly, these just look like fuzzy turds.